That puts us live. All right. Welcome to stream, everybody. Another fantastic end to a fantastic week. I'm slightly disappearing out of my camera. That's all right. I don't need to exist on camera. Let's just make sure that that's tracking. Everything should be good. But usually there's always something that goes iffy at the beginning of my stream, so I'm just waiting for the other foot to drop and figure out what I forgot. Other than the camera is slightly high. Let's push you back. There we go. I like that a bit better. How is everyone doing this fantastic evening? Let me get Mike out of my way slightly. Where did we leave off? I can't remember. We're at a weird position, though. Unfortunately, we're at a weird position where a new version of Dwarf Fortress has released, but a new version of Lazy New Pack is not. And when the new version drops, I'm going to probably, especially because of the changes, just update to the new version. So, kind of, I don't want to say today is pointless, but whatever we can't leave an open project for today, if that makes sense. I'm assuming by next weekend that we will have an up-to-date Lazy New Pack. And it's just a groundhog. Which means, alas, because it requires world generation and it changes a bunch of things, including werewolves or we can just try out the new version. Because I'm at a weird place with this. Hold on. Not Masterwork. Bay 12 Games. This computer doesn't have the internet on it. Never mind. I knew I forgot something. I didn't hook up the freaking internet to this computer. That could be a crucial key thing to be, correct on. So we will be sticking with this at least for this weekend, and we need to come up with, or we need to have switched over by next time we stream. And also, I did an update into the mic system, and I swear it's picking up audio differently now, and it's slightly driving me crazy. I don't know how loud I am compared to everything else. Audio levels look like it's going swell. Yeah, no, I was trying to set up Stream Deck because I haven't used Stream...
I said no.
I was trying to set up Stream Deck because I haven't used Stream Deck in a while. I try to configure it so that in about an hour or so, I can click off record. We can all sit here for a few seconds. We can have a quick little, essentially behind the scenes talk, bathroom break, what have you, and then I can hit record and we can start up again. Because the thought has occurred to me, I don't know why I'm so thirsty today. The thought has occurred to me that editing 4 or 8 one-hour videos, uploading all of them, and then having a major slowdown where I compress them all together to make the marathon edition of the video would probably be a lot faster than the sheer amount of bogged downedness you end up with when you have one 9-hour video that you need to edit the audio on, then submit that to YouTube, and then cut it into hour-long blocks and then submit those to YouTube. I feel like it'd just be slightly easier to do it the other way around. So that's what I intend to do. I needed a thing to be telling me the time, or the time live, but I couldn't figure out how to get that to work on Stream Deck in time, unfortunately. What is going on with that combat noise? This is all down below, right? Yeah, this is all down below. I'm gonna lower that audio. Which one of you is you? Wait, no, you're muted. So what the hell's playing those noise? What is the point of having the Swords channel if you don't play the audio in the Swords channel? Whatever, it's probably gonna need to be like a major update of SoundSense at some point. I have noticed, so I did a quick perusal on the interwebs. I have noticed that, as usual for these type of things, whenever a major thing happens with Twitch, with Dwarf Fortress, Twitch gets slammed with viewers wanting to do Dwarf Fortress who haven't done it in for fucking ever. I don't mean to be that dude. Call someone a poser or whatever, but the people that never stream it and then only stream it when it makes major news, that they slightly annoy me. They slightly annoy me. People who do it regularly, even if it's not the primary thing, I'm fine with that. But the people who you never see until it's major news again, they annoy me. All right, where do we... Last time we left off, we determined that the catapult was not going to be able to work, so that was ultimately pointless. The bridge system is up. The secondary wall system has been making progress around the triangle. Only I can get some way to get this map into the next version of Dwarf Fortress. See, and yeah, it's picking, I swear it's picking up the keyboard now. Let's raise that gate while I'm thinking about it. That's a lot smoother. This way, at least now, if it does pop up, it'll be rare and occasional, not punctuating everything I'm saying. But how have you been, Sirlak? You were here earlier. Perhaps you were chased off. Chased off by fear of the unknown. Or your little goblins, one of the two. Goblins. Goblins that require attention, lest they burn the house down. I know, or it might just because I got the fucking mic way too close. Or the keyboard is, at the very least. If I can get the mic further back here, we should be better. What do you mean these walkable perimeters? Shut up, you do not need a walkable perimeter. Something's wrong. I'm going to remove this. Build construction wall. Is it the one corners that I need to avoid? No. This still isn't gonna work. There is a point between them, so it needs to be 2, 1, 0. Two, 1, 0. 2, 1, 0. Fuck it, we'll just let that go and we'll see how well I did it. Hello again, Sirlak. Oh fuck, did I not? Hold on, it's not configured, is it? I knew I'd forgotten something from when I record. I always forget something when transitioning between record and streaming. Viewer request on. Does that mean you're what's on? I knew I was hearing something. There we go. It has been fixed. You're gonna have to do your request again, though. By the way, have any of you guys been keeping up with the YouTube series? I wanted someone's feedback on that. I understand. See, because I'm suddenly hearing the keyboard. I swear I hear the keyboard more often now. And this is the silent keyboard, so I don't know what the little, how that update, like some setting got changed somewhere. I'm now hearing shit way more often than I should be. All right, we'll let those go through. I can see and hear you just fine. Song request not needed. Why? You just turned it on. You guys made me think it was needed. If it's not needed, then here. I'll turn them back off. I can go back to the regular music if you guys so choose. I was about to say that was at least peaceful. It was chill. I think I have that in my title though, don't I? I would have to take that out of the title. Yeah, it was in the title. I don't want people coming in and getting confused. There we go. Let's go with the chill Dwarf Fortress. Also, hello Steven, how are you doing? I saw the new versions out, but it's not on Lazy Noob Pack yet. There's not, at least not that I saw. There was not an updated Lazy Noob Pack. Which basically leaves me in the possibility that this might be the last of the Triforce stream. Because I'm assuming people are going to want me to be playing on the new version. Particularly with like some of the major world making like differences that it has. Which would require me to update and create a new map. Which is going to be not copacetic with the Triforce we have. How did you not get grabbed? There we go. The book I stared is full on about the Morgan effect. Oh, the book you shared? I'm good. I've gotten into making 3D modeling. That's nice. Is that for like a hobby? Is it like learning for employment? What are we talking about here? We wish to share in your success. Tell us about the worlds of 3D modeling. Though everyone already knows 2D is the best waifu. I'm doing this out of a need to make miniatures for Interbellum. All right, full on. What the fuck? How? Oh, main character named Morgan. Makes sense. I did see that on my phone, and my phone wasn't loading it right. Like I know you had linked something, but the phone showed you do the text, and then when I went to like see the link, like there was a big open space, and the phone wasn't showing it to me. And then, admittedly, I had forgotten about it since then until you brought it up again. So I was in the place at that point to try to force it to like download and update itself. So they're fighting down below. We are making progress with the aquifer. However little it may be. That hole needs to be kept open so that we can just dump water into it, as we are already essentially doing. Slightly confused by the hole within a hole. Why did I do that? I really don't know. But the new version having much slower aquifers is going to make this a hell of a lot easier to deal with. Can't find any models for a four-legged corpse man or biomechanical dragons and super beasts. 6 pages in, the guy gets hit by cars, and God says, nope, you get a redo. Is this anime? Is this a manga? That sounds like every manga right now. Why does God say you get a redo? Did God not anticipate him dying at that point? Also, define a four-legged corpse man. You mean like a corpse of a quadruped, like a dog? Or you need a corpse man that is also mutated to have 4 legs? It's an audiobook. Ah. All right, sure. Yeah, I believe you should have full sharing rights for things, so you should be able to share with us, no problem. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, no, I spent all day yesterday, essentially, getting some videos. They're not even all public right now. Getting some videos uploaded to RNG archive. Because one video, I don't know what happened, but in the middle of my streaming backlog, there was a period of time during Masterwork where all of a sudden my files bloated from like 9-10 gigs, give or take, to like 60. So I was trying to get at least one of them out of the way. It was about a little over 9-hour video that I had to process to get it onto YouTube, which meant, if nothing else, just to balance like some of the audio levels, had to render fully a 9-hour video. Then I had to do rough edits at hour-long blocks and render all of those. But when you get to that large, Premiere and the exporter get slightly salty, even on my computer, and it just makes it take forever. Not to mention, I was genuinely worried that I'd start having internet problems, because I have got Comcast, and they are known to cut you off if you do a lot, particularly in terms of uploads. And I basically uploaded yesterday 120 gigabytes worth of video files to YouTube. So that's not good. Yeah, what program do you model in? I'm assuming you can still hear me, even if you're somewhere else. I'm using Blender. I've heard of Blender. I'm assuming it's good, since I've heard of it more than once. I'm not unfamiliar with the term Blender. Build machine screw pump from the west. All right, I know what I have to do. I have to cut the whole thing short by like a block, which is gonna be super happy fun time. We might as well just route that over to where the other one is while we're at it. Build construction wall, since it's going to be there. The wall is going to need to be there. Do I need it to? No, I don't want it in those holes. Might as well get it to share the hole that we already have. And a wall needs to be there. Which means I'm going to suspend this one for now. This is what I'm attempting to make a model for. All right, let me see your model. What the fuck? What is that? Is that even 4-legged? The front left leg looks like it's 2 legs spun around each other. It's like an 8-legged creature doing 4 actual limbs. What the hell? What is that from? That is grotesque. I'm assuming, though, that if you pull something like that out in the middle of your group, they will be, in fact, be terrified. This is from Interbellum. I don't remember that picture. Yeah, I remember the World War I game. Granted, I don't remember any pictures from the rulebook I saw. Now I think about it. Might explain a few things. I no longer need this up down, correct? I don't think I do. So let's get rid of this upstairs. Hell, let's get rid of all that while we're at it. We don't need any of it. Boom, 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 boom. They're fighting a shit ton down there, probably because they're all undead and they're eating each other. This is what I get for being on an evil biome. You know, somehow I had like the perfect mix of evil biome here, where they're evil creatures, they fight each other, but more often than not, I never get any of them. They just slowly kill each other, and they are not a bother to me. Really weird. All right, that got secured. Build machine. We are going to have to reroute a new horizontal axle just shy of the water so that we can reach to the new location. And we're gonna have to start from like right in there if we want to make sure all this works. Our exit from earlier had the downstairs on the left and the right, so we can just avoid the axle when we get this done. Back up to the triangular prism for the Triforce wall. We need to build some points. We still on? Oh. Please tell me the last one was log. Fuck. I think I was only off by one. So we don't need to fix too much. That one's gonna need to be a floor. All right, let that get fixed and we can sort it out. Now let me get a screenshot of what I've gotten done Now let me get a screenshot of what I have gotten done for Will 13 minutes of learning how to model. Let me get a screenshot of what I've gotten done for Will. I'm just gonna guess you wrote over your thoughts there. Like sometimes when I'm typing, I swear the cursor jumps back 3 words just to screw with me. I'm gonna have to assume that's what happened. What I've gotten done. 2 for Will. I'm gonna guess what I've gotten done with 13 minutes of learning how to model. I don't know what 2 for is, but I'm gonna say what I've gotten done with 13 minutes of learning how to model. Poor Droutha, you will die. So that being said, though, making the assumption that by next Saturday we will have to be using the next version of Dwarf Fortress, and we will lose our fantastic vampire friend. What do you guys have as an idea for the next base? I mean, I could end up doing another Triforce. It'd probably be a lot easier now that we've gotten the practice done at the beginning. And if I did it with less dwarves and or made the Triforce a little smaller, we'd definitely get through this a lot faster. Or we may have now essentially used up this idea, so to speak. And people may want to see a different build. Different dwarfiness. I want you guys to mull that over. 2 equals so 4. What I've gotten done so far with. Okay. You typing on a phone? Because that sounds like 3 instances of autocorrect to something else. Now, I have read, I haven't tracked it down, I have read, and this is the thing I need to keep track of, is that there is a DF hack module that gets rid of the game keeping track of what the wall is, which eases up a little bit on lag, particularly if you do a lot of constructions. But I cannot figure out what this command is, nor can I figure out where to download it if it's something I need to download, like if it's an extra plugin I need. Or don't know where to track it down. Separate data structure. If you change construction, it'll still yield the original item type when you deconstruct them. Yeah, see, I don't know. But the reason I brought that up is I'm starting to suspect that my rather large dwarfy projects might have a negative influence on my frames per second, regardless of how efficient I try to be with some of my constructions, due to me mostly constructing things that might be negatively influencing our frames. Me equals yes. What did you get done? Oh. Considering you got this done with only 13 minutes of like looking things up. That's really good. Took me longer than 3 hours with Premiere to figure out, or with After Effects, just to figure out how to get the file in. That's a slight exaggeration to me. Not just to get the file in, but to figure out how to get like the file to be showing up and editable. Took me a little bit longer than I care to admit. That's pretty good. Now, what do we still have? We have power. We have all of our necessities. That's the goofy bit. Other than like a dwarfy construct, we've gotten our bare essentials done here.
Is that mandate?
I don't think we're directly at war with people, so short of kitting out the dwarves for this base and or a dwarvy construction, we don't really have much to do. We've gotten this to a basic fort status. Half bringing this up because I'm wondering if I could free up a shit ton of frames by making this be controlled by the game and then come back. But every time I've done that, it's fucked up. It's fucked up everything whenever I do that. So I really don't want to do that. But I've noticed that the dwarves are moving a little bit slower than I would like. Like they're not zipping around. They've lost a little bit of pep from their step, and that annoys me. I really shouldn't. I don't have anything really in the background. This is all it. I just wish I could track down like what the bottleneck was sometimes with games like this. Track down what the bottleneck is and then free it up. Because we've kept the creatures down low. That's going to be wrong. We've kept the creatures down low. The only big thing I can think of is the constructions, since it keeps track of those. I'm not sure. Still can't get a human-shaped head, though. Don't work that way when using the skeletal way of making models. Well, the top of the skeleton would be a skull, right? Make the skull bigger. Make the skull so big that the forehead is a sphere. Make it be Neanderthalithic. I don't know why I went with the sound effect. It's a 3D modeling thing. It doesn't do sound effects. Oh, BT dubs. BTWs. My Yogi Bow came in. For those of you who don't know what this is. has got to be the most comfortable and fucking unnecessarily large shaped beanbag chair thing. It's very comfy. It's for the inner man-child in all of us. Straight up though, I've now slept in this thing for like 4 nights. This thing is like way more comfortable than any bed I've been in. way more comfortable than, slightly expensive. Whenever you describe it as a beanbag, it sounds way too expensive. But it is essentially large and already shaped for you to use it as a chair or a bed. And I got with it a pillow. I have a beanbag pillow. Like pillow. I don't know why they came in 2 different color greens. I was kind of thinking about that. I was thinking, because that green on it is like it itself is, I think I could show it best with the pillow actually. It itself is like a white thing with beans in it. The green on it is an outer thing for you to wash it. So while it is shaped tubular, this is essentially one gigantic green screen. And I don't know what I would use that for, but but I feel like you could make it look like I'm getting taken out by nothing. Like, cause it's got weight to it. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, but I felt like that would work. I felt like that'd be useful for a joke one day. So I mean, if I turn on green screen, it already it is a mobile cover. I don't know why part of it's not getting greened out. Why is part of it? Oh, because the blue light over there. The blue light is ungreening it. I just like the way green screens work sometime. It's like you can see through the window behind me, like, I'm in a room, I'm in the game. I'm in a room, I'm in a game. Uh-oh, I did the wrong thing. That is to unbrighten it, because for some reason my camera makes me way too bright. Back to modeling. I'll model. There you go. That is the sound that I determined your evil creature makes. It's a completely sensible sound. Everyone would agree with. No, not Ash. You are not wood, 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 none of you are wood. Are you at least wood? You are at least wood. I do need to start working on some of those scripts soon though. Not gonna lie, I was halfway thinking about doing that for today's stream. As a creative stream, so I could work on the alerts or something like that. But Saturday is Dwarf Fortress Day, and that is what we're going to do. It's kind of a bit bummed, actually, that the new update wasn't reflected in Lazy New Pack yet. And I don't think I've read anywhere about an estimated release time for Lazy New Pack. Does anyone know about how long it takes Lazy New Pack to reflect... Excuse me, I apologize. New Dwarf Fortresses? Because that's going to change some things. No, like the program itself auto updates, but I meant like for the author slash developer behind it to update the source for mine to update. Essentially, like, I feel like I could have probably maybe just taken Dwarf Fortress and a new Dwarf Fortress and tried to run it in the current one, but I'm not sure what that would bork in the program. Like, I know for nothing else, you have to wait for DF Hack to update for like 90% of Lazy New Pack to work. Question is, did DF Hack update? DF Hack 44.12 R3. So no. Last time it updated was 14 days ago. Bummer. That's because lazy. Let's wait for all the tile sets and utilities. Well, what if I don't want all the tile sets? Sometimes tile sets don't get updated. They're doing those walls. They're doing that. Build construction wall. Right? I am going to go with yes. And then remove this one. Thinking. Oh, that's right. The other project was down below. How is this going? Build machine gear assembly. That is an important thing to be aware of. You are going to need that. Build construction wall. And now let's watch this idiot sit on the wrong side and try to get himself killed. I love it when they try to get themselves killed. Oh. Build machine gear assembly should also be built for this side, I guess. Suppose. Give me a suggestion on a low poly model to make. A low poly model? I'm trying to think like early PlayStation 1 shit here. What was a low poly model from like PlayStation 1 era? Oh, Carnby. There you go. That'll get you some practice if you're trying to do poly modeling. Carnby from Something in the Dark. Work with me. Edward Carnby. I want like early ones though, not that recent crap. I want the ones where he was made out of polygons and you could count the polygons. Yes. View image. This link, copy. There you go. Here's a low poly model. I think the dude's made out of like 24 triangles. Some parts of that game, it kind of hurts just to watch that man walk around. He in the game, he always walks kind of like he's got something up his ass. Because they couldn't fully bin things. They just ended up making him British because he looked posh as he was running around. He looked like way too unnecessarily posh. Say's made him a British asshole. And then what was it? UA Bull made a movie out of it, and oh my god. That man should not be allowed to touch movies. He ruins everyone's movies. Like, nobody ever gets to enjoy anything that man makes. That man is like the Grim Reaper of movies. I've done something wrong here, but I can't put my finger on it. Build construction floor. 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2. I don't know how I screwed that up. It'll be sorted. But yeah, you can even like look up videos of him walking around. It was a game when it originally came out. It was before Resident Evil. I want to say Alone in the Dark was. Oh no, it definitely was. Alone in the Dark inspired Resident Evil. That's how old it was. It was like one of the first like 3D ones of whatever type they were using. They used some weird shit for Alone in the Dark. But Alone in... I'm not bonkers, right? Yeah, the influence of Alone in the Dark can be seen in the Resident Evil franchise. Yeah, Alone in the Dark, like half inspired Resident Evil. Or like the aspects of it where it's like, okay, it's a horror game, but you go here and there's a puzzle and you have to do this and you kind of know what's bad is happening, but that's not really the point. It's about the ambiance and you have to get through it or else you die. Yeah, that was all Alone in the Dark. Alone in the Dark inspired that crap. Unfortunately, Alone in the Dark did it very, very awfully. And Resident Evil did it much better. So that worked in Resident Evil's favor. That's why Resident Evil took off like a lot. And Alone in the Dark barely inspired 2 movies. They weren't even good movies. Like I said, I don't even think I saw the second one, but I remember the first one. Either that or I didn't see the first one. I only saw the second one. And they had a plot. But you can never tell what's going on. Like if you'd played Alone in the Dark, you would be confused as to what was going on. If you hadn't played Alone in the Dark, you'd probably just kind of be like, okay, it's a B-rated horror movie. Like, it was really weird, the things that they did in that movie. It wasn't so much that it was wrong, is that it just didn't. Like, the end of the movie, it would be kind of like maybe the middle point of what you'd think the movie should be. Like, the end of the movie, it's like, oh, BT dubs, there are monsters around. Oh, okay. And what are we gonna do? Roll the credits. Okay. Is this where we're ending it? Yeah. That doesn't seem sensible to me. Nah, this is a perfect time. No time like the present in the movie. Okay. Did you see Alone in the Dark movie? No, it's about Christian Slater does stuff in dark places. You're not wrong. Like, you're not wrong. In the video games from the beginning, it's like, hey, you get like this non-cutscene that says shit's afoot. You start the game, and if you aren't moving in like 20 seconds, you're under attack, and you've had no chance to get a weapon or anything. Like, the game just throws it at you. It's like, hey, this house is kind of spooky. And then it's like, and now you're under attack by weird fucking eldritch monsters. Suck it. The movie is like, there are people that talk about maybe there are things that are happening in the dark, and there might be eldritch creatures and or Native American mythologies. And it's like, okay. And then you get to like the dark caves, and it's like, okay. And then they stop it. And you're like, oh, okay. And then they go out and like, oh no, wait, there are monsters out here. And then that's just kind of where it ends. Like, literally what would have been the beginning of the movies, where the beginning of the video games where the movie ends. Like, you just got to the movie. It took you 2 hours to get here, but you fucking just got to the movie. How are you quitting? And it quits. Yeah, that game was so confusing. It had some, I think there's a term for it. I think there's like an actual term for it, but it had like what I'm gonna call like missed logic or point and click adventure logic, where You had to just somehow know, or trial and error, that something that made no sense for something else was the key to a puzzle, and or you just weren't going to make it. Like, there's a creature that I think is basically treated as a Medusa if you try to go down the stairs, if I remember correctly. Try to go down the stairs, or somewhere in this freaking mansion, there's like a Medusa creature, and if you go anywhere near the damn thing, it will just kill you. Like, you cannot win against this. However, if you equip the mirror, it sees itself and it dies, you live. However, you can at any point in the game throw away an item. So it is, in fact, entirely possible early in the game for you to get this mirror, throw it away, and then the game is now unwinnable. And it might be 3 hours before you get to the creature that you realize the game is now unwinnable. Because they weren't fucking around. You want to throw this away? Sucks to be you. Now, to be fair, you could pick it up off the ground. It's not like deleted, like your guy literally throws it away. But the thing is, if you don't remember where you threw that item away, or if it ends up in some weird hard to reach area, you're not getting it. Like, they almost updated physics. They're like, you're here, you say you throw it away, and it goes, ooh, and it goes straight. So it's just somewhere off screen. So if you don't know where it landed, it might as well be deleted. Leaps of logic, yeah, just fucking crazy nonsensical things. And it's like, who would have guessed this? Who in their right mind would have guessed it? The only thing is, Resident Evil, of course, went the undead route, and Alone in the Dark goes basically the Cthulhu mythos, which it's like, oh, well, everyone does Cthulhu. You know, if you're gonna have some weird spooky ambiance, it's gotta be Cthulhu. But in their defense, this was like 97, 98, and like nobody had really heard of Cthulhu. Like, you know, okay, people had heard of it, like the people who read the books, but it wasn't like big in popular culture. So you got to give them credit for that. They weren't like writing that Cthulhu coattail. It was the thing that they had to use at the time. These are going to need to be limestone blocks. Yep. Build construction floor. Got wood so I can get out there. And I think there was 3 of them. If I remember correctly, the first one, like, this is how bonkers the game was. It was good and interesting, but man, did it never make sense. The first game, you were in a mansion. And in the basement of the mansion, there is a Cthulhu tree. And that's what causes all the evil. In the second game, it's about pirates. Because there's an evil succubus demon lady. And she sucks the lives out of kids. And this allows her, she's in Louisiana, by the way, some Louisiana pirates. And if she sucks out kids' lives, then her and the crew of pirates get to live forever. And then the third one is, of course, you know, you go mansion, British, aristocracy, type posh jackass, to pirates. Clearly the next thing has to be cowboys. So now you're just out in the Midwest fighting cowboy stuff. And then it ends with like a dude who's like a cyborg. Like you end like the final boss of that is like a cyborg cowboy. By the third one, they definitely lost their minds. They had no clue what was going on. God, it's so beefy too. On the bright side, every successive row after this will be slightly shorter. So it went from 3 to 3, 4, 5 to I guess 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it'd be 7.
Winter is upon
Just
us.
really weird way of doing it. So how are you guys doing, BT dubs? As I sit here and talk about a game from like the late 90s, how are your lives going? Have you been having to reminisce about games from like the mid to late 90s? Warcraft 3. This has reminded me. Warcraft 3. Blizzard has fucked everything up. I don't know how you can be this incompetent. I'd forgotten about this. I'd forgotten about this nonsense. I don't know if anyone's following this or if anyone knows and or cares. Dear Lord. So they released a remaster version of Warcraft 3 and it's a bait and switch and they screwed a lot of things up. I don't care about that. I ultimately I care, but I don't care for this topic about them messing up Warcraft 3 remaster. The thing that gets me is, and this is why I will never disagree. Like, you know, people, you can have arguments over the Pirate Bay and or, you know, having no CD fixes and shit like that. And, oh, it's piracy and there's never a good reason for it. When they released the remaster of Warcraft 3, they also released a mandatory update for the original Warcraft 3 that took away features of the game. They devolved Warcraft 3. My thought behind why they did this is because if Warcraft 3, the classic, had features that the new remaster didn't or could not, then people were likely to just play the original one. So they purposely crippled the original one to force you to, like, well, if you're gonna be playing the same engine or whatever anyways, you might as well play the one with good graphics to force people to buy the new one. And this is why you need no CD fixes. This is why you need this shit to not be permanently online, because you don't know if 15 years from now, Blizzard will come back and be like, how's that nostalgia, buddy? How's that nostalgia? It'd sure be a shame if somebody came around with a steel-toed boot and kicked you right in the nuts. Wouldn't that be a shame? Surprise nut kick. Like, who does that? No. I've been trying to not to do that. Oh my God. Like, I know I have a slight issue with doing air quotes, but as soon as school starts, I get so much worse because that's what everyone in the school does. This is what I get for going to college. Everyone's always like, and then he was being problematic. We're gonna have to use words all the time. I didn't do this in the military, but the longer I'm in the college, the more I do it naturally, and it gets worse the longer I'm in college, and everything has air quotes. Oh my God. Every fucking time. Yeah, and no, but it's not even an EA game. It's Blizzard. Why would you go back and take a 16, 17, whatever year old game and cripple it? Effing cripple it. Hold on. I'm about the features removed from Warcraft 3 Classic. I don't care about the missing features of the new one. That one, that's on them. They do a shitty game, they do a shitty game. All right. This was in Warcraft 3. This was in Warcraft 3 all the way up until 3 days ago. And then they released an update. And the update removed these features, if you were not aware. Automated tournaments. so that the game itself, you could be like, okay, you're in the next match, so on and so forth. Profiles, clans, ladder, i.e. where do you match up against other people? Animated campaign backgrounds, animated portraits, slash commands in the chat, communal channel listings, custom campaigns, custom fucking campaigns, news sections. They fucking changed the balance of the old game to now use the new balance of the new game. What they basically, oh my God. And then they also put in new wording in the old game so that anything you make custom in the old game now doesn't count. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure I'm doing this right. So if you made a game using the custom game thing in Warcraft 3, it was yours. You could do what you wanted with it. So that's fine, but that led to like Dota and stuff. And you could say, whether or not you like those games or that series, you have to admit, especially for someone to be using it off of a modding tool, that it's a pretty decent jump. It created a genre. So they got super fucking greedy, and they put out like new terms saying if you do anything in our custom game engine things, no matter what, we own all rights to it. We don't have to pay you dick. But then they realize that they are now proactively copywriting everything anyone else makes for free, which means they're technically copywriting what is probably copyrighted work, because people would do like Final Fantasy Tactics maps and Dragon Ball Z maps. So they also had to go back and forbid anything that was copyrighted, which was like 80% of all their files from the custom games in Warcraft 3. It's like when, what was it? Tumblr? When Tumblr got rid of the pornographic material, and then everyone joked because 95% of Tumblr was just pornographic material, and then Tumblr went bankrupt or something, I think. Like, I never heard about them again after I heard about that in the news. So they try to get greedy, and in order to get greedy, they didn't realize that their greediness will get them in trouble, so they can't get in trouble, so they put in new rules. But like I said, this applies because it's using the same engine, essentially, as the new game. The new game is applying those rules to the old game now. So now anything that used to work on there before really isn't legally allowed to work there anymore. So you're not allowed to do them. 14 years or whatever. And it's just like, nope. We've suddenly decided that even though you did this while you were allowed to do this, because we're assholes, we're not gonna let you do this anymore. Okay then. You guys are morons. I have no clue like how they assume this is going to make them money and or not get them in trouble. Like they're just fucking, I told you guys before, I'll tell you guys again, I fucking hate incompetence. Like if you're gonna be evil, then be evil, but do it competently. This doesn't make any sense. They wouldn't have had to, because they're making it so no one makes maps. That's what they're doing. By doing it the way they're doing it, no one's gonna wanna make the damn maps. If no one makes the maps, then there's not gonna be anything to make the claim on. If no one makes the claim on it, then have you done anything? If there's no one there to make the thing that you wish to steal from them and claim, then you're not missing out because it's not being made. You're fucking shooting the horse in the face to prevent someone stealing the horse. It doesn't make sense. It's fucking baffling. Yeah. Yeah, refunded. Forgo your moral right, 17 years. Welcome, Sanctum Spirit Stone. I mean, if the skin looks weird, that might make it look better. Like Apple, make it almost possible to fix so people have to buy new. I don't understand it. Like, I really don't. Like, Apple's thing, though, isn't completely incompetent. Like, I wholeheartedly disagree with it, and I fucking hate any Apple product, but I can see the thought process behind it. It's fucking evil, but if I make my shit so fucking obtusely annoying to fix and or make it hard for anyone to get in replacement parts, then I can just say, hey, I have to replace this, particularly if I train my people and teach them that they can't fix it. It's plausible deniability. It's fucking evil, but I can understand that. Like, I can see the thought process. I can't fucking follow the thought process in Blizzard, because at the end of the day, there's now nothing being made. How does this help you? You've shot yourself. Proprietary. I think it's the word you're going for, proprietary. Most of the hardware for Apple products are proprietary. That's why for the longest time they didn't do anything remotely close to USB, because they wanted to use their own charging things so they can make sure to get you extra money. Yep. Like I said, that's evil, and I'm willing to allow that to exist. Like I'm not going to lose my mind over, you know, why proprietary is stupid and nonsense. It kind of is, but at the very least I could see like the goal. You're doing this to make money. Okay. But like the Apple equivalent of this would be if Apple says, okay, you can't replace these cords, you can't repair the cords, and I'm not going to let the manufacturers make my cords anymore. Buy my product. Well, if you've forbidden all charging cables and you've forbidden manufacturers from even making the cords, how is anyone going to charge your shit? We don't know. Buy our shit that's not charged, because that's what they're doing. The people who made the mods to begin with are the equivalent of the people who made the charging cords. Like, they're the ones that make the thing you're trying to sell. You can't not have them do that. That doesn't make sense. You don't get rid of the supply. You don't sell, like if we were to convert this to regular apples, you don't make a business selling apples to people while at the same time only growing oranges. If you will only allow yourself to sell apples, but you're only ever going to grow oranges, you're not going to sell them, because you're not selling the thing you're making. You need the supply to sell it. You can't get rid of your supply. That's fucking stupid. It's not even new capitalism. It doesn't make sense. Why would you go back and unmake capabilities? Sounds like my runs in Crusader Kings 2. Oh my God. It's so mind-bafflingly fucking stupid. I don't understand how they're not fired. Enough people had to have signed off on this idea. Enough people had to have signed off on this idea that it should have been removed a long time ago. Or they should have been removed. Like, they're too stupid to exist. Like when Steam tried to let people sell mods, so people sold other people's mods. Yes, that one. However, I don't blame Steam for that. That is just lack of insight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's close. That is close. That's being stupid, and don't get me wrong, stupid. But Steam didn't actively, like, for this comparison, this would be Steam saying, if this mod had been anywhere else previously, it can never be sold. Right, no, that's still wrong, because then they're letting you make it yourself. This would be the equivalent of Steam only selling things that you could prove weren't yours and were on Nexus mods. I think that holds the metaphor up. It's like the ass backwards thing to do. Them not realizing that people were just going to be conniving, thieving assholes just kind of means that, you know, they look a bit freaking naive. Like, someone didn't think that through. Like, I guarantee what it was is Steam was like, legally, are we stealing anything? And then lawyers like, well, no, we're giving them the money and shit for it, so we're not doing anything, so we're in the clear. Good. And like, they never checked legally to verify if the people that they knew they weren't stealing from, they didn't check to see if those people weren't stealing from people. Like, they need like 2 tiers of we're not robbing from people. but like they're not actively trying to kill the community making the mods. Like, oh no, this would be the perfect example. Opening a store to make mods and then banning mods. That would have been the perfect that would have been the perfect metaphor. Had Steam done that and then also banned all mods. Like if you ran the game with the mod, we will rescind your Steam account. Would have been essentially the equivalent of what's going on here. It's asinine. It doesn't make any sense. Build construction wall. Oh, what did I see recently? I've been mentioning it, and I hadn't finished it up, so I finished it yesterday while I was waiting for my videos to render on this computer. Oh, Kakaguri. I forget which one of you guys was constantly bringing it up, but I did finally finish the second season of Kakaguri, and I am annoyed now that it ended on a cliffhanger. It basically ended on a cliffhanger, and that's annoying. I don't like it when they do that, particularly if they haven't announced the next season. Like, you'll have shows like My Hero Academia. You'll have shows like My Hero Academia who will technically end a series on a cliffhanger, but the next series or next season starts the next week. So that's not like a major, okay, cool, it's the same as any regular episode. Kakaguri did that, and that was like, what, year and a half ago? I don't think I've heard of another season. Which is very, very annoying. I need to watch more of my freaking bonkers crazy chick outbet people. All right, now hold on a sec, because this is a thing I'm needing to remember to do. So